Hello everybody, this is the Mysterious One. I'm coming at you with your both Raw and Smackdown review, WWE Raw and Smackdown review for June 3rd and 4th of 2019. This is the go home shows for that for Super Showdown, which will take place in Saudi Arabia this Friday. Now, on Raw, it took place in Austin, Texas. The first segment was with Roman. There's a match with Roman Reigns, Usos, and Revival, and Drew McIntyre. But before that happened, there was a promo that Roman Reigns was gonna make until Shane McMahon interfered, and he said that first the ring announcer was made to make an overtop introduction to him as the best in the world, but that's the usual. And then he goes on to say how he can't wait to shut Reigns down. Furthermore, he's not just the best in the world, but he's not just the best in the world because they're telling him he's the best in the world. Basically, he's saying because he proves it in the ring, right? But does Shane McMahon? And he said he's just like fine wine; he gets better with time. He says so. He says he's going to beat Reigns one side of the ring to the next side. Then stuff him in the middle of the ring, jump over, go flying, do a coast to coast. He'll either pin him or make Reigns submit with his triangle hold submission move. Now, Reigns has never submitted before in his career, so apparently they want Shane to be the first one, a non-wrestler nonetheless. But it's a McMahon, so why not? Why not have him be the first to submit Roman Reigns? Why not, right? And excuse me. And then after he makes Reigns submit, all they're gonna hear is Shane McMahon, the best in the world. And in that moment, he said he's not gonna stop though. He's gonna keep the hold on until Reigns' eyes come bulging out of his head. Reigns at that moment just told him to shut up for real, right? Shut up. And that he laughed, and he said he would love to see Shane make him submit, put him in that move, because before he puts him in that move, he's gonna boom him onto and pick up his spoiled. Reigns said he'll pick up Shane's spoiled ass, boom him to the ground before Shane even has the chance to put that submission move on him. So because he said, son, Reigns tells Shane McMahon, he said, son, you don't stand a chance with me, because when you're in the ring with me, you have two left feet, whatever that means. And the only reason Shane's out here all confident and such, because he has backup in Drew McIntyre. He always has help. He can never be like one-on-one. And then he gave us the bathroom break match, which is for Stomping Ground, which will be Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns, which was a rematch from WrestleMania. Well, I think a bathroom break match, because I don't think anybody wants to see that again, but That's just me, right? And McIntyre comes out, says that McMahon is absolutely 100% right. He will beat him at Super Showdown this Friday, and come because and then come Stomping Ground, which is in a couple of weeks actually. He's McIntyre said he's going to decimate and destroy Roman Reigns and end him at Stomping Ground. We'll see, because he did a great job at WrestleMania, didn't he? McIntyre, he did a wonderful job destroying Roman Reigns, right? In a mere 6 minutes, was it, the match? Yeah, well, yeah, McIntyre, you're gonna destroy Roman Reigns just like you did at WrestleMania. Yeah. Then out comes the Revivals and attacks Roman Reigns from behind, and then the Usos come out and then to defend, because as you may or may not know, Roman Reigns and the Usos are cousins, in reality, in real life too. So yeah, so they come out to break up that attack on Roman Reigns, and that there starts the match to save him, actually. And the match with the Usos and Roman Reigns and the Revival and Drew McIntyre, in which the Revival and Drew McIntyre win. But anyway, Miz TV, there was a Miz TV segment. His guest was Seth Rollins, and they discussed how, although Rollins would be defending his title at this Friday against if he can retain it today, on Monday, which Brock Lesnar was supposed to cash in the Money in the Bank briefcase. He was gonna, he has to get rid of that, and focus on what's ahead of him, which is Baron Corbin, and stopping his ass into the ground. But before he can focus on that, he's got to get rid of that Brock Lesnar situation, that monkey off his back, as they say. And that Miz was saying how Heyman promised that Lesnar was going to cash in the Money in the Bank briefcase, and Rollins said, "Yeah, okay, we'll see it when I'll believe it when I see it," because he said that Heyman is a liar and he's not to be trusted, and he really does, so he can concentrate 100% for this Friday, Super Showdown. Then we see Heyman and Lesnar pull out of an SUV holding the Money in the Bank briefcase. So obviously what he was saying is true, right? And then the Loser House Party come out, in which they get confronted by Lars Sullivan, and they triple dropped, kicked him out of the ring. As you may or may not know, the Lucha House Party are going to be facing Lars Sullivan at Super Showdown this Friday. That might be a bathroom ring match. They don't have a chance. Even 3 guys, they don't have a chance against Lars Sullivan. At least I don't think so. That's just me. I don't know. Backstage, we see the Iconics making fun of Vicky Cross, and out comes Alyssa Bliss, and she says, say basically, everybody, how everybody doesn't like her, and this, that, and the third, and Nikki Cross says, "Don't worry, I got your back, because you've always been nice to me and everything." The Iconics were making fun of her height. It's Then there was a Becky Lynch promo, which she states that she's been doing some thinking about making some changes. See, she's been doing this for 63 days, and she finally got a break. She's home, and she's been all over Europe, and she basically was discussing her journey as to the point of becoming main eventing WrestleMania, and to this point. right? Being the Raw champion. She was a double champion, now she's the Raw champion, right? So she basically was telling her journey, what she did with the 63 days, right? And she's never been more content. But that's the thing, she said, that's the thing, a champion should never be complacent. And should never be content. Everybody should always be, on your toes, because there's always a mark on your back, right? But like, well, basically, she said that when Lacey Evans interfered in the match at Money in the Bank, and cost Becky her Smackdown Women's Champion, it just made her pissed off and made her more motivated to prove that no woman in the world can beat her. Which obviously is not true, because she's been beat, but this Becky Lynch, I think the hype is dying down a bit. That's just me. I still like her, but I'm just saying. And she vowed to get revenge on Evans, right? So Evans came out, expressed her disgust that Lynch was the face of the women's division, and vowed to dethrone her. And don't underestimate her. Just because she's blonde doesn't mean she's a Charlotte Flair. And she's not anybody to be messed with. And basically she'll prove it with her woman's right. And she's going to, she will prove it. I think at Super Showdown, is she having a one-on-one with Becky Lynch for the Raw title, right? I believe so. Yes. So yeah. So that's why she said that. Yeah. So that's basically their hyping the matches up as they would in the go home shows. And then Flair. Charlotte Flair went against Lacey Evans, excuse me, and it ended with via disqualification, because Lynch was at ringside doing commentary, but she interfered and punched Flair in the face. So via disqualification, Charlotte Flair won. Then Rey Mysterio, due to injury, had to relinquish the U.S. title. His arm was in a sling, but instead of them having a tournament for the title, he relinquished it to the former champion Samoa Joe. Strowman and Lashley had a arm wrestling contest for some reason, in which Strowman won. They both had chalk on their hand so that hands wouldn't be slippery, but nonetheless Strowman still won. And then at the end of that arm wrestling match, right, Lashley attacks Strowman, throws chalk in his face, and power slams Strowman in the middle of the ring. And that's that for that one. Ricochet and Cesaro had a match again, in which Ricochet won. Cesaro after the match attacked Ricochet with tables. It's 24/7, and then R-Truth ran in the ring after the match because he was running away to not be pinned for the 24/7 title that he has. So that was it's so insignificant, but then Seth Rollins is waiting for Lesnar to come out, because he's sick and tired of these games that they're playing, and to cash in the money in cash in the Money in the Bank briefcase. But after but within that time, then Corbin comes out, and he said that Rollins needs to be focused on him, not Lesnar, because he's the one who's going to be facing him at Super Showdown. Now, not Lesnar. So then he comes to the ring, gives him a end of days. Then Lesnar comes out beats Rollins down with a steel chair. Nope, doesn't cash in the Money in the Bank briefcase after all. And Heyman said, "What are you doing? Just cash it in. You can cash it in now." And he said, "No, wait till Friday. Wait till Friday." So apparently he'll be cashing it in on Friday. So they just teased us, I guess, as they've been doing. And unfortunately, or I know it's part of the show, but Rollins was sent out with a gurney, a neck brace, and by his side was his real-life girlfriend, who was Becky Lynch. They should have a storyline with that. They both went in the ambulance together, and I'm sure it's gonna lead into what you call it? It's gonna lead into It's gonna lead into a storyline between Becky Lynch involved, Seth Rollins, and probably Lesnar. It's probably gonna continue. But anyway, there was a Firefly segment in which there was he was talking to Husky the Pig, and basically talking about his past demons as Husky. He was his previous gimmick, and there was a demon, McMahon, and there was an exercise segment. He said it was very important to get exercise, to exercise your demons and exercise your mind. So everything is like he's fighting between his demons and trying to keep it leveled, I suppose. Yes. Triple H and Orton had a confrontation. It was a silly back and forth. It really was. And Triple H told Orton, don't let the suit fool you. I'm going to go to Jeddah, which is the name of the Super Showdown show, Friday, and Saudi Arabia. It's called Jeddah. He's going there to kick Orton's ass. And Orton responds, "I am not Batista." That he's not Batista, he's the Legend Killer. And would gladly beat him at Jeddah. And they were poking fun of it. It was like a fun segment. Like, it wasn't like really mean or anything cruel or anything. It was just they poked fun. It's stupid. Anyway, and it ended with an Undertaker promo, in which basically he said when he faces Goldberg for the first time, he wants Goldberg not to be the family man, but to be the Goldberg, iconic Goldberg that he's been. If he gives him any less, their first match will be the last match. So basically, he wants Goldberg to have his A game on, which he's right, he should. Okay, so that's how Raw ended. Now I'm going into Smackdown, which I don't know where it hails from. It didn't say. I assume it's the same place, Austin, Texas, but I don't know. Anyway, this was Smackdown review for the 4th of June of this year, right? The New Day opens up. Kofi Kingston shows. And he was saying he stated how he was as a WWE champion, he wanted to be an inspiration to everybody, and he wanted to be a fighting champion, but an inspiration, and because he's to show people that anything is possible. Because he's basically, he says it took him 11 years, right, to become champion. But and then they showed footage of him and throughout his career he's won many championships and made many friendships. And they showed the footage of him being in Ghana, which is his hometown, and being with his friends, and reuniting after 26 years, reuniting with friends and family, and how he was like the hero, how he's the hometown hero of Guyana. And now comes Ziggler, and Ziggler said that he knows that Kingston is an inspiration, and he has nothing against Kingston, and that he knows that Kingston is an inspiration, and that to everybody, and that everybody admires him, and he is a hero to the world. But basically, Ziggler said it should have been him. It should have been him. It should have been him. And Kofi Kingston said, yeah, it could have been you, but when you remember the time when you relinquished your U.S. title and just left the company? When you did that, then you kind of forfeited your time, and kind of you messed yourself up. That's why you lost your momentum. And Kofi Kingston said he also knows what it's like to be an underdog and to be overlooked. So and Ziggler feels that way, like it should have been me. It should have been me. That's the whole idea. It's the jealousy. It's really, to me, it's kind of dumb. It's like, he's just. And in reality, the only reason they put him in this match is because Owens. Why do you keep saying Owen? His name is Kevin Owens. He refused to go to Saudi Arabia. That's the reason why Dolph Ziggler is. But they have to make an excuse that that he's jealous, whatever. It should have been him. And he said the reason he doesn't attack him right now in the ring is because he can kick his ass. He'd rather wait at Super Showdown. Ziggler does, because he says he respects Kingston too much to do so. Yeah. Then there was a match with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, went against Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston, in which Kofi Kingston gave Sami Zayn Trouble in Paradise, and to beat him, so they beat Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. But Ziggler comes in, attacks Kofi Kingston. That was expected, right? And left him in the middle of the ring, and just left like that, right? So yeah. It's just because, it's really stupid to me, because the only reason it's happening is because Owens doesn't want to go to Saudi Arabia, which I can't really blame him much for that. But yeah. So, that's what I'm... pretty much what's going on with that deal. Yep. I'm trying to be as accurate as I can with this reviews. If I missed some parts, I apologize, but I am trying to be as accurate as possible, because I want to get back to doing my reviews. I just had to double it and it's the so-called go-home shows, so it's I think the reviews are good to get out, especially the go-home shows before the pay-per-views. So yeah. Oh, Ziggler should have been him. Yeah, should have been me. Should have been me. Looks like a spoiled brat. Yeah. They show a lot of video packages on this show. Like McMahon was showing how he beat down Roman Reigns with some help with Drew McIntyre, of course, and the Revival. So mind you, never one-on-one. Well, I don't know if I think if it's one-on-one, Shane doesn't have a chance against Roman Reigns. But if there's gonna be outside interference, then Reigns will win anyway via disqualification. It would be stupid. So there's a moment of bliss here, a moment of bliss, and in which her guest was Bayley. And the segment was basically about, to me, it seemed like Alexa Bliss wanted her coffee in the right way, and she said, "Oh, before we start talking, I gotta get my coffee." And so basically, to me, it's like a disrespect to the champion in Bayley, right? Like, just, and then she was, Bliss was saying all the accolades she has done in her career, and Bayley was saying, well, she's working on the future of the women's title. She's thinking about that. While Bliss is telling all her accomplishments. And Bliss and when she got her coffee, Bayley knocked the coffee out of her hand and said, "Really?" And then Alexa Bliss said, "Maybe it should be on somebody who deserves it." And now comes Carmella, who said, she said that it should be on a SmackDown. If it's gonna be on anybody, it should be on a SmackDown's champion, a SmackDown competitor, not a Raw competitor, in which Alexa Bliss is. This brand split. There's no brand split, and this wild card is really stupid, really. So out comes Carmella, and then out comes Charlotte Flair, and then this basically leads up to a match with Carmella, Alexa Bliss, and Carmella, Alexa Bliss, and Charlotte Flair to determine who will face Bayley for the SmackDown Women's Champion at Saudi Arabia on Friday. Now, it doesn't make sense to me because Carmella and Charlotte Flair on the SmackDown brand, but Alexa Bliss is on Raw brand. So it's like really a dumb thing. Everything is all topsy-turvy with this wild card thing. It's just not making sense. Then there's a backstage segment with Carmella and R-Truth, who is trying to hide from people for his stupid 24/7 title. Then Shane McMahon supposedly calls Carmella's phone, who apparently Truth has been using the phone. So yeah, and says that there's going to be a match between Elias and him, and it's going to be a lumberjack match, and it's coming up next, in which Elias beat him, but then it's so dumb. Then Elias went underneath the ring to try to hide, and then underneath the ring, R-Truth beat him. Uh, uh, it's really, I mean, they're making such a farce out of this. It's a farce. It's really like a, it's a joke. They're making, and they should never should you make a title a joke. And the 24/7 title is a total joke. And there's a segment with Aleister Black. I don't know when they're gonna showcase him. He's been making challenges and such, and nobody's paying him no attention. They really need to showcase him because he's got potential. Anyway, in the middle of the ring, Shane McMahon with the Revival, and he makes the announcement best in the world. Blase blasa. He does a promo. And he said that he has to show. Sometimes you gotta show dogs who's boss. Revival tried to. Out comes Roman Reigns. Rival tried to attack him from behind. Does it to no avail. McIntyre gets him with a Claymore kick. Beats, and then McIntyre and Shane McMahon beat the hell out of Roman Reigns once again. It's been happening. It's like a pattern now. And left him in the middle of the ring. So like I said, there's a triple threat match with Carmella and Charlotte and Alexa Bliss to determine who will be challenging Bayley for the women's title at Super Showdown this Friday. And to me it doesn't make sense because, okay, Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose are watching the match, and they seem to have beef with Carmella for some reason. So they do distract Carmella for Alexa Bliss to roll her up and pin her. So who will be challenging for the Smackdown Women's Championship? It will be a Raw competitor in Alexa Bliss. This wild card. Why don't they just end the brand split? There is no brand split. I mean, because if she beats Bayley at Super Showdown, so the SmackDown champion is a Raw competitor, makes a lot of sense. I'm telling you, the WWE just illogical. I mean, they just on a roll with their illogical booking. But yeah. So yeah, they do a lot of video package about what happened last week, this Friday. I mean this Monday, with Seth Rollins being attacked and everything. He's fine. Then well, there's an interview with Lars Sullivan. He finally speaks. Because as you know, Lars Sullivan takes on the Lucha House, all three members of the Lucha House Party, in a handicap match. And the interviewer says asks her what drives a man like him to do the things he does. His response is, give me a second. Would you ever ask nightingale why they sing their sweet song? Would you ever, would you even ask a lion why they methodically stalk their prey, first sinking their teeth into flesh and viciously ripping it apart? So those are his first words. Then why would you ever ask what drives a man like me? Because he said, I've come to realize that he comes to realize that he is no man. For his entire life, he's been described by one word, and do you know what that word is? It's like, and that he's been called the word his entire night. I can take it, say it. That's an open question, open closed question. And he said, yeah, freak. But that's not what people are thinking about him right now. Yeah, he's a freak, but they also think he's something else, but we don't get into that. When a lion performs its primary function, people call it a lion. When he performs his primary function, people use that particular word, which is freak. They also call him something else, which is so racist. Yeah. Anyway, his primary function is to hurt, maim, dissect, bisect, and humanize people. That's what he was brought on Earth. And his primary function is to show all of us that the world isn't full of rainbows and sunshine. It's full of pain, agony, and a real life freak nature like him. Well, oh no. Then he said I don't know. He's saying words things that normal people, quote unquote, would not say. He's a freak, so he's not normal. That he's gonna rip Lucha Heart's party apart and make them ooze out bodily fluids, because apparently you can't say blood, so bodily fluids it is. Somehow I wish he wouldn't have talked. Anyway, Andrade faced Apollo Crews. And before the match even got started, Finn Balor came out just to get beat the hell up. And yeah, and then Andrade left the ring. So I guess it was a no contest, I guess, on that one. And yeah, so apparently Finn Balor, for some reason, he's gonna come as the Demon at Super Showdown. And you know, when he comes out as the Demon, you know he always wins. So Andrade is gonna have a loss, I guess, because the Demon's gonna beat him. Demon never loses, right? Yeah. Great booking. WWE Super Showdown is fixing to be a great show. Hey, we may get surprised. It may be great. So far, it sounds not too good. Yeah, there was an interview with oh yeah, they showed the interview with Triple H and Randy Orton were part of the interviews. This all stems from something that happened 20 years ago when he was in Evolution and what have you. So it was like, so now there's an interview. The last segment is an interview with Goldberg, who will be facing The Undertaker at Super Showdown. And he said that he always wanted this match between The Undertaker because he did request it. And how The Undertaker made an interesting point, and he stated that he did not want to see Goldberg define Million Man, and he wanted Goldberg, the iconic Goldberg, that kind of kick-ass machine that Goldberg went 173-0. And he greatly appreciated Taker's advice and made a light switch off in his head. And he doesn't want to be the family man Goldberg. Because he says he thinks he'd fall short. So he left his ass at home, and at Super Showdown he would bring the kick-ass Goldberg, iconic 173-0. And that Taker's gonna get the Goldberg that we've known for 20 years. And that Taker will be getting that ass-kicking Goldberg that he asked for. And when it all is said and done, we will find it out at the end of the night on Friday who's the better man is. I don't know if anybody cares about this match, but anyway. Because he said, "You're next." And then he said, "Rest in peace." And then the gong rings, the lights go down, Undertaker's in the ring. They face off face to face. Then Undertaker, as quickly as he came, he disappeared. Once the lights went down again, and went up. I think the Taker's gonna win. So that's basically how the show ended. And that's the combination of the Raw and Smackdown review. I hope you enjoyed it. I did the best I can do to relay everything that happened in the show. You know, I had to go over my notes and such, but you know, but you get the gist of what happened on both shows. And and the gist of basically the matches that are going to happen tomorrow at Super Showdown. Thank you. I think it's tomorrow. Is today Thursday? I don't know what day I'm like. Listen, I know it's Friday. It's going to be this Friday coming up. I don't know what day of the week I'm living in sometimes, but yeah. So thank you for listening. Please don't forget to give your thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to my channel, and yeah, thank you for watching. And at Super Showdown, I think whether it's Seth Rollins or Baron Corbin, but I think I'm gonna say I'm gonna go against the grain. I think he'll cash. I think that Lesnar's gonna cash in against Kofi Kingston, but that's just my opinion. Excuse me. Sorry. Excuse me. Yeah, I think he's gonna cash in against Kofi Kingston for Super Showdown. I don't think that he's gonna be Universal. I think he's gonna be on Smackdown, only because I know that Fox wants Lesnar on Fox, and since Smackdown is going to be on Fox, that makes sense to me. So yeah, so basically, that's the end of Smackdown, and that's the conclusion of my reviews for both shows. Like I said, please subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, and let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you for listening. You have a great day, and I love each and every one of you, even my haters. Peace out.